Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome if this is your first time here. So this is going to be your weekly energy reading, and this energy is going to stretch out from today, which is March the 2nd, I believe, up until next Sunday. So that would be the 8th. So yeah, we're going to dive right into it. I am in the process of uploading the element reading, so those should be up tomorrow. All right, so let's dive right into this. The first two cards out are the Ace of Cups and the Integration card. These two cards are basically your overall energy for the upcoming week. So with the Ace of Cups being here, I'm seeing that a lot of you are going to be feeling this emotional fulfillment or emotional contentment this week. It's not anything that I'm not seeing anything specific that's happening. It's more of just like an energy shift where you're feeling a lot more balanced. Some of you are just going to be experiencing this very light emotion that you haven't been experiencing for a while. It's like this emotion of everything is fine. Like there's nothing going on that's necessarily making you happy. Like there's nothing huge that's happening that's making you feel this way. It's just you're just feeling very content. And I'm seeing that for a lot of you, that energy is just kind of, it's gonna kind of sneak up on you. It's kind of like you're just sitting down or just casually going about your day, and you stop and think, like I feel really good today. I haven't felt like this in a while. Like it's just a very peaceful sort of energy. Some of you are going to be getting an offer this week that is going to rebalance you. So if you have been imbalanced because you've been kind of waiting on something to come through, I think I'm seeing that for a lot of you this week is going to be the week that it comes through and balances things. So for example, let's say you applied for a loan or something and you've been waiting for it to come through. This could be the week that it actually comes through and it really balances out your energy. So that is a great thing. Let me see what else. I think that may be it for those two cards. I just want to make sure before I move on. I'm seeing a lot of birds and I don't know why. What does that mean? Hold on, let me pull. Let me pull one more card to clarify because I'm seeing birds, but I'm not getting the message through clearly. Oh, okay. Freedom is what I'm hearing. So the birds that I'm seeing in your overall energy this week, it's a representation of freedom. And for some of you, like I said, this is not any type of major decision that's being made. It's just like an energy shift that just frees up your energy. I'm not sure what's going on astrologically this week, but it's like a freeing of energy is what I'm seeing. Things that you were having a hard time kind of letting go of, or things that like the energy was kind of stuck to you almost. It's like it's being cleansed or being cleaned off of you. I don't know how and I don't know why. It just looks like it's just happening, some sort of spiritual shift, or could be something going on with the planets this week where it's like you're going to be, your energy is going to be cleansed. So there is this sense of freedom that I am feeling. A lot of you are also going to be feeling very bold and courageous this week, and I think it's a direct result of this balance that's coming in, because when you feel balanced, it's easier for you to kind of take risks, or to kind of fearlessly do certain things that you've been putting off. So I see that happening for you. In terms of your blockage, we have the High Priestess. Okay, interesting. What I'm seeing here is that this week, one blockage that you may face is the fact that you no longer have to seek out guidance. Now you know exactly what to do. And that might sound weird being a blockage, because that sounds like a good thing. I mean, it is a good thing when you no longer have to go and, seek out like advice, or you're sitting there trying to figure out the answer to a question you've been having. But it's like once we figure it out and we know what to do, now the hard part is actually doing it. Like sometimes searching for the answer can be so much easier than finding the answer, and now you have to act on the answer. So for example, let's say that, let me see, I'm trying to find a good example. Let's say that you've been very confused about how to start a business, okay? That's always my go-to example, the easiest one, or the easiest example I can give. Let's say you've been very confused about how to start your business, right? So you've spent a lot of time researching how to do it, how to register your business, like what steps you need to take to do A, B, and C. You spent so much time getting guidance, getting help, doing research, and now it's to the point where there's no more research to be done. there's nothing else to look up or to plan for. Now it's like you have to take the action, and that can be very scary. The research section is sometimes much easier than the actual taking action, but I do see this week that's happening for you. Like, no more seeking guidance, no more being confused, but now you have to take the action, and that can be a little bit intimidating. But I feel like you've been in preparation for so long that whatever this is, you're prepared for it. It's just a little bit scary to be out of the planning phase and into the action phase. So the next two cards, we have the Queen of Cups and we have the Existence card. So this is your advice. So what I'm hearing is that this week you want to do everything from your heart. Try your best to put your heart into everything that you do, everything that you say. Try your best to not kind of act from a place of being disconnected from your heart. Like, if you are feeling extremely angry, there's a disconnect. If you are feeling extremely confused, there's a disconnect. So you may want to center or balance yourself first in order for you to take action from the heart, rather than taking action from like ego or fear, things of that sort. I hope that that makes sense. I'm going to pull one more just to clarify this. Yeah. Ordinariness, maturity. Yeah. So basically this is saying, just like I said, this is clarifying that if you do anything from your ego this week, or you do anything from a place of fear, or there's like an immature sort of energy or reaction here, it's going to lead to, just you feeling this sense of sorrow, or you causing sorrow to someone else. And I think last week's reading had something very similar. I think that's just really the retrograde. Being careful about your communication, making sure that you are speaking from the heart, but not in a way that's rooted in ego. Like, I always do this exercise when I'm communicating with someone that I care about, because sometimes my words can be very sharp and they can come across very wrong. When I'm communicating with someone I care about, I'll picture my words dropping into my heart space first before I speak them. So that way it's kind of like your words are cleansed and they come out in more of a pure way, rather than coming out rooted in or covered in like fear or ego or insults and things of that sort. So you may want to try that trick this week, to let your words drop into your heart space before you express them. I am also seeing here that this is going to be a good week, for you to ponder life. This is a good week for you to ponder your place in life, what it is that you came here for, your purpose. I just feel like a lot of you, I'm hearing that a lot of you this week, you're really deeply connected with your inner child. That's what it is. For some reason, I don't know what's going on astrologically or what this energy shift is, but for some reason, a lot of you are connected very deeply with your inner child. And I don't feel like you're doing anything to do this. Like, you can do meditations and whatnot to connect to your inner child. But I feel like for some of you, you're not doing that. It's just this connection with your inner child that's taking place. And so it's like a perfect opportunity for you to kind of imagine, dream, visualize, like, what is it that I want from this experience in life? Like, what's going to make me happy? Like, there's this dream-like energy that's coming this week, but in a good way. Not dreaming as in like being delusional, dreaming in a good way where you're visualizing like what it is that you want out of life. And there's like this childlike innocence that's coming with that, that's helping you, because you know how like children are very, very creative. Like, the stories that they come up with, like, they're very vivid and very colorful. And like, as adults, we can sometimes lose that, especially when we're not connected to our inner child. So we can start thinking more of on a logical standpoint or a more pessimistic standpoint. But when we're more connected with our inner child, that's the time for you to kind of sit and dream and visualize and kind of like figure out, or well, not figure out, but kind of just ponder like what it is that you want to accomplish in life, or like, what are you here for? What do you want to create for yourself in life? This is a good pondering week, pretty much. When it comes to those questions that we could have when we're having like existential crisis, like, what am I here for? It's like that, but in a positive way, is what I'm seeing. Yeah, overall, this energy this week just looks pretty peaceful. I'm seeing here that there's a need for you to, with the ordinariness card here, there may be a need for you to be very, what would the word be? Not strategic. I guess that would be the word. Be very strategic about peace. Like, make sure that you're prioritizing peace this upcoming week, because I do feel like some of you are going to be more sensitive because your inner child is just more present this week for some reason. So prioritize your peace over anything else. Let me pull one more. Going out in nature may be a good idea if it's not too cold where you live. Okay, yeah, for this upcoming week, I am seeing that clinging may not be a good idea with the miser card being here. Clinging to the wrong things. Make sure you're clinging to things this week that send you peace. That's a very short message, but it's very clear that's coming through. Make sure you're clinging to things that actually bring you peace in this upcoming week, not clinging to things that are moving you directly away from peace. But also with the ripeness card being here in the reverse, this is talking about making sure that you're not clinging to things that aren't ready yet. There are things that are going to come to pass for you, like they're going to happen for you, but it's not ready yet. It's kind of like trying to pick a fruit before it ripens, and then you're like, ew, this tastes disgusting, because it didn't ripen yet. And there's a need for you to let it ripen before you pick it. So try your best to not cling to something that you're inevitably going to have, but it's not the right time, is what I'm hearing. It's not the right time. You're going to have it. If you try to pick it now before it's ripe, it's just not going to taste good. So just be very careful of that. Be very careful. And some of you might be thinking, like, how do I know if it's ripened or not? How do I know if it's time? It'll be the resistance, because like I said, there's a need to prioritize peace, and there will be a resistance. It'll impact your peace of mind negatively when you're trying to pick fruit that isn't ripened yet, when you're holding on to things that, or you're clinging to things that aren't ready yet. It'll interrupt your peace. There'll be a lot of resistance. Not resistance in the good sense, because sometimes we meet resistance in order for us to kind of push through it and push through our fears. This is not that type of resistance. This is like, it's very clear that this is not ready. Stop trying to force it, sort of thing. It's like when you're pregnant, or when someone's pregnant, the baby needs to stay in there for 9 months. Like, you don't want that baby coming out early. You see what I'm saying? It's like that sort of thing. Like, so if it's disturbing your peace, you're trying to pick the fruit too early. It's not ready yet, but you're going to have it. You're going to have it inevitably, is what I'm hearing. So outside energy here, we have the 10 of Pentacles and we have the beyond illusion. All right, so this is outside energy. This is like how other people are affecting you this week. I feel like this week you're definitely seeing through people. Wait, no, hold on. Let me clarify this, because the message just got kind of scrambled. As soon as it came out my mouth, I heard no. So I'm like, wait, what? Hold on. Let me pull one more. Oh, got it. Yeah, this week is a week where you're not going to be analyzing people as much. Like I said, I feel like this week is more so, like I was saying before about your inner child being present and you just kind of pondering life and kind of visualizing the life you want for yourself. I feel like so much energy is going to be spent on that you're going to spend less time trying to figure certain people out, trying to control certain outcomes, because you're going to be so preoccupied with this energy that's coming in for you, where you are focused or visualizing your future. With the 10 of Pentacles being here, I feel like a lot of you are going to become very clear about your future and what it is that you want. And that means becoming clear about who you want in your life, like the type of people that you want around you, the type of people that you're willing to give your energy to. It's like you are becoming very clear about that. And it's all coming from a place of going within. Like before, it could have been focusing a lot on the people around you and kind of trying to figure things out by interacting with them, or by trying to force things, or just things weren't flowing properly between you and certain people. And you were trying to figure out, do I want to keep these people in my life? Or you're trying to figure out exactly the type of life you want for yourself and who you want to surround yourself with. And you were very focused externally on that before, like by sitting down and maybe arguing with certain people, trying to get them to change, or, trying to figure out like what to do about them. But it's like going inward this week is making it very clear who you need to have in your life and who doesn't need to be in your life, and the type of circle you want, the type of life that you're building, and who you're going to take with you. Because when you're interacting with the same people that you're confused about, it can cause more confusion. If you're going inward and putting distance, you start to see things from a much clearer perspective. So it's like no more feeling the need to try to control, no more feeling the need to try to push a situation in the right direction. Yeah, you're going inward and doing that and being in touch with your inner child, being in touch with your creativity. And when I say creativity, it doesn't have to mean like creative artwork. I'm talking about mental art, like creating the life that you want for yourself in your head, like a visual in your mind of exactly the life that you want. That's what I mean by creative energy. But yeah, having those, doing that creative, those visualizations in your mind about your future and kind of painting the life that you want for yourself in your mind, is going to help you see what people fit into that and what people don't. And it's not, basically it's saying like there's no more trying to sit and analyze it or sit and figure it out with the other people. It's more so like now it's just going to become clear, because it's going to be stepping away from that control or trying to control it, trying to force it to the point where it just becomes clear. Certain people just won't fit unless they're willing to make some changes. But you are coming to the awareness that you can't control whether or not they make those changes. And you're done kind of trying to analyze them and fix them or push them to fix this. And even some of you were trying to control your own behavior, trying to change yourself to appease others, and you're no longer doing that. You're just kind of like, does this fit like into my image in my head of what I want my life to be like? Does this person fit, or does the person that I have to be accepted by them, like, does that make me happy, and would that fit, would that version of me make me happy in my future? Like, let's say you are someone who's very emotionally expressive and you have an emotionally unavailable partner and you have had to tone down your passion. It's like you're sitting there like, why am I doing this? This is not who I am. Is this the type of person I want to be? I don't know if any of you watch The Real Daytime, the talk show. And well, even if you don't, I'm sure you've heard of Adrienne Bailon. She is from the Cheetah Girls. She's from 3LW. And she has shared over the course of a couple years of her being on the show The Real that the guy she was with before for 5 or 6 years, the guy that she was engaged to before she had her current husband, she was saying that, her mother was very concerned about her because she's a very affectionate, caring, loving person, but she was with a more emotionally closed off, unavailable sort of man. And so she started to kind of morph into that. Like, she started kind of settling, like, well, I don't like holding hands anyway. Like, I don't really like to hug. And her mom was kind of like mortified because she's like, that's not my daughter. My daughter loves to hold hands. My daughter loves to be affectionate. So she was kind of like transforming, and sometimes that's not even conscious. Like, that's not something that people do consciously, where they're trying to transform or conform to fit the dynamic of a relationship that's not right for them. It sometimes can just happen, and that's what was happening to her. And so she made the conscious decision to leave that connection, because it's kind of like she had that epiphany of me changing myself. Like, I don't really know the ins and outs. I'm only knowing what she shared. It seemed from what she shared that she didn't try to control him and try to get him to be more expressive and stuff like that. Sometimes, we do the opposite and try to control ourselves and mend or mold ourselves to be something that we're not going to be satisfied or happy with in the long run. So some of you are seeing that this week. No more trying to control other people, and no more trying to mold and control yourself to fit into a connection that is just stifling you and hindering you. So that is it. I really hope that this was helpful, and I will see you guys in my next readings when I post the element readings. Bye.